If you enjoy this video, do buy us a cuppa, the link is in the description below, and thank you in advance if you do. Afternoon. Now, we've had vampire twins. We've had psychopaths on a beach. We've had a dodgy date in a graveyard. And now, I'm going to review the last film I intend to, of the Frenchman, Jean Rollin. Yes, we're in France this week, so grab your baguettes, your wine and your cheese, because that's literally all you can eat, because the restaurants are always closed, as we go and see The Grapes of Death. Now, this has long been classed as French cinema's first gory horror film. As late as the late 1970s, they were too busy making muck. The story concerns Elizabeth, who's going to see her fiancé, who owns a vineyard. How nice. However, something is amiss, and the wine is going a bit wrong, leading all the locals to go mental. Will she escape alive? Will she find her fiancé? Will she actually drink some wine? Will she find any restaurants that are opened in France? Will someone take their clothes off for no reason at all because it's French? Ultimately, will it be any good? Let's find out. The film starts with a group of French blokes walking through a fields. Is it COVID times? No, they're wearing masks because they're spraying pesticides. I'm sure that won't have any effect on the locals. Unfortunately, the pesticide has affected this worker, and because he's French, he wants to go on strike for the afternoon. I wonder if his boss will let him.
Qu'est-ce qui t'arrive?
J'ai la fièvre, je me sens pas bien.
C'est rien. Bois un coup et retourne au boulot.
J'ai mal là.
Ah, tu t'es cogné. On te mettra de la pommade ce soir. Allez, va.
Unlucky? Ah, the good old days for women-infested HR. Talking of women, here's two of them on a train. One of them is Elizabeth, who's off to see her boyfriend, Michel, who owns a vineyard. Oh dear, I'm sure they'll be fine.
T'as bien dormi?
Comme ça. Oh, j'arrive dans 1 heure. Michel sera sûrement à la gare. J'ai une de ces envies de prendre une douche.
T'es vénarde. Quand je pense que je serais pas arrivée en Espagne avant cet après-midi. En tout cas, dès que j'arrive, je file me baigner.
And despite this being a French film, you're not going to see either her having a swim or the other one having a shower. Unlucky. The train just happens to be completely empty, other than the driver and the two women, but when it stops, someone gets on. It's him again, skiving from work. His boss must have let him go after all, bloody work-shy French. Anyway, after a little while, he comes to join Elizabeth in her carriage, despite all the empty ones. Ah, that's going to make her feel really comfortable. Well, if he's made it on the train, he must be feeling better now. Oh dear, he's proper fucked. Elizabeth makes a run for it to find her friend so they can escape from this madman covered in who knows what. Doesn't look like she's going swimming in Spain now. Elizabeth manages to get off the train and escape the madman, and then, in true French fashion, the madman decides to go on strike from being a killer. Ah, the French. After getting lost and doing lots of running about, Elizabeth finds a farmhouse. Hopefully the people in there will be able to help her. No dear, she should have tried next door.
Antoinette, fais-la asseoir.
Monsieur, il faut que vous m'aidiez. Dans le train, il y a un homme qui est monté. Il était fou, malade. Il a tué mon ami. C'était horrible. Il faut prévenir la police. Il faut que je téléphone. Je sais même pas où je suis.
Despite Elizabeth's convincing story, the bloke doesn't seem too keen to involve the police. I'm sure there's nothing in it though.
La police? Vous voulez que la police vienne ici? C'est ça?
Mais bien sûr, pour qu'ils viennent me chercher, il faut absolument leur expliquer ce qui s'est passé. Et puis tous mes bagages sont restés dans le train.
Y a pas de téléphone à la ferme.
Et celui-là?
Il marche pas.
How convincing. Elizabeth tries to escape but the bloke's daughter stops her and they have a little bitch slap.
Laissez-moi sortir! Je vais m'en aller! Laissez-moi!
Nice. They soon make up though as the daughter takes her upstairs so she can rest. However, Elizabeth, being a woman and therefore nosy, goes snooping, which only leads to problems. The problem being the reason the dad doesn't want the police to arrive there. What did the silly cow expect to find under a sheet which clearly had someone not moving underneath it? Anyway, it turns out this is the woman's mum, and the dad killed her in a fit of rage, a rage caused by the pesticides. Ah, we could see it coming.
Il est fou, vous comprenez? Il faut s'échapper de la maison tant qu'il est dans sa chambre. Venez.
They tried to sneakily walk out the house and get past the dad, but of course they're women, so they can't do it quietly, which means he catches them. After revealing that the daughter also has the virus, of course by showing her tits because this is France, he then kills her off, although he does regret it.
Qu'est-ce qui m'arrive? Mais qu'est-ce que j'ai fait? Moi, j'en peux plus. J'en peux plus.
Elizabeth fucks off out there naturally to steal their car so she can get away and hopefully get somewhere safer. I wonder who she'll run into, rather quickly considering she just got out the house before him. She's thinking the same thing. How, if he's walking at that speed, did he get there at the same time as her? Anyway, he wants to be killed off because he feels regret about killing his wife and his daughter. Will she do it though? I could be wrong, but surely it takes more than driving at least 1 metre to kill someone against a wall. After that high-speed hit-and-run, Elizabeth escapes to another French village, where the restaurants are probably only open for about half an hour a day. But anyway, let's hope she's safer in this one. Unlucky, she's run into someone else with the virus. She best go and hide in the car. She'll be safe there.
Soignez-moi. Je vous en supplie, soignez-moi. Ouvrez cette portière. Je veux un médecin, je suis pas dangereux.
Naturally, she doesn't let him in, so he lets himself in with his head. That's 2 people she's killed now. She's as bad as they are. Anyway, she makes a run for it. I wonder who she'll bump into next. I'll say, who does she bump into? Who bumps into her? A blind woman.
Vous êtes perdu?
Oui. Pourtant, je connais bien la région. Mais je suis partie tellement vite. À un moment, j'ai perdu mes repères. Je tourne en rond depuis ce matin. Vous êtes passé au village?
Il est près d'ici, votre village?
Bien sûr. Alors vous aussi, vous êtes perdu?
Oui. Écoutez, je vais vous aider à retrouver votre village. Je vais venir avec vous.
With the blind leading the blind back to the village, Elizabeth isn't being exactly honest with what she can see.
Qu'est-ce que vous voyez?
Des maisons abandonnées.
Pourquoi avez-vous crié? Vous avez vu quelque chose?
Venez vite. Partons, le village est plus loin.
On arrive, je reconnais la route. On devrait entendre le bruit de la ville.
Le village est plus loin, il faut encore marcher.
Écoutez, j'entends comme des flammes. Il y a de la fumée, je le sens.
C'est un feu de broussailles. Allez, venez.
Votre voix est bizarre. Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Oh, dites-moi. Dites-moi ce que vous voyez. Où sommes-nous?
C'est que... La nuit est tombée. Il faut qu'on trouve un endroit pour dormir. Comme ça, on sera au village demain matin.
C'est pas vrai. Vous mentez.
Just tell her what she wants to know, or just go and let her find out for herself.
Je le sens. Il y a quelqu'un. Je comprends pas.
Surely you can feel that he's dead. Anyway, they eventually find Mrs. Magoo's house, which she shares with her other half. Maybe they'll be safe now.
Calme-toi.
She should really lock the door, but she's a woman, so she's not thinking, just like the blind woman who's ignored Elizabeth and fucked off out again.
Lucie! Lucie! Reviens!
Ah, let her go. She's with her friends now.
Pourquoi vous ne dites rien? Vous ne me reconnaissez pas? Je suis Lucie. Vous êtes du village? Vous savez où est Lucas? Si vous savez où il est, dites-le-moi. C'est lui qui me guide, Lucas. Allez-vous-en. Partez. Je sens que vous me voulez du mal. Vous voulez encore vous moquer de moi.
By the time Elizabeth gets to her, the blind woman has already found her mate, so she'll be alright.
Lucas, c'est toi? Je le sens. Je reconnais ta veste. Lucas, parle-moi, Lucas. Dis-moi ce qui se passe. Oh, Lucas, je voudrais pouvoir te regarder.
It's probably best that you can't see him. She finally finds her, only it's a bit too late, but maybe she can still live.
Lucie! Je t'aime!
Yeah, I think she's a bit too late. Elizabeth then needs to escape from the marauding villagers again. Hopefully this time she'll find someone that isn't blind and isn't mental.
Asseyez-vous. Ici, nous ne risquons rien.
Qui êtes-vous?
Ça fait 3 jours que je suis bloquée ici. Ils n'osent pas entrer. Ils attendent que je sorte. Mais, pas si bête.
At last she's met someone who isn't a retard. After a long chat about how she's living in the mayor's house, Elizabeth and her new mate decide to go to the vineyard to find Elizabeth's boyfriend. Elizabeth, armed with a gun, her mate armed with the blind woman's guide dogs. The mutant villagers have no chance now. Are you going to set the dogs on him or not? Whilst they're standing there fucking about doing nothing, 2 blokes turn up with some guns. At last, order will be restored.
Encore un de moins.
Et ça t'amuse, hein, de les descendre comme des lapins. Mais enfin, c'est tout de même pas leur faute, ils sont comme ça.
Mais qu'est-ce que t'en sais, hein? Moi, je vais te dire une chose, François. Hein. C'est eux ou c'est nous?
Mais nom de Dieu, c'est une épidémie, ils sont pas responsables.
C'est à voir. Pourquoi ils sont des monstres et nous, on n'a rien?
They want to have a wander around Paris nowadays. But anyway, they carry on to find Elizabeth's new mate, and they're very suspicious she may be infected. So she decides to prove to them she's not. In a way, only a French would.
Je n'ai aucune trace, aucune marque. Regardez.
C'était pas la peine de faire ça. Bon allez, on vous emmène.
Fair enough. Whilst they're all too busy looking at her fanny, Elizabeth is still being attacked. And then the blondie shows her true colours.
On aurait dit la même voix que tout à l'heure.
J'ai rien entendu.
Bon, moi je vais aller voir.
Oui, barrons-nous d'ici en vitesse, hein.
Oh bah alors reste ici, moi j'y vais.
Bah non, puisque j'ai le fusil, moi, alors. Tenez, asseyez-vous là, on revient, allez. Allez, je vais avec toi.
Ça vient de par là.
For some reason, Elizabeth's new friend didn't want to help her, but luckily the blokes ignore her, because shooting people and doing the right thing is more important than looking at a fanny again. Plus any excuse to use some dynamite. These two definitely aren't on strike. They can't be French.
Dynamite! Jette! Allez, dépêche-toi, dépêche-toi!
Oui, vas-y, balance. Allez, balance.
Nice. I wonder what's happening with the decapitated blind woman and her fella. Who said romance was dead? Whilst all that is going on, whatever that is, Elizabeth manages to escape all by herself and comes across her new friend. What's going to happen now? Is she going to let her in the car? Ah, women. Where's the blokes with the guns gone? Christ. Elizabeth manages to escape the slappy slapper and hits her with a flaming torch, which I'm sure will make her calm down. Luckily, the blokes with the guns turn up and put an end to this utter bollocks.
Allez, calme-toi, calme-toi, n'aie pas peur. Bah garde-la si tu veux, hein. Mais barrons-nous d'ici, parce qu'entre les dingues et les pas dingues, moi, hein, moi je m'y retrouve plus, hein. Merde!
Salaud! Mon corps était intact. La maladie ne m'avait pas déformée. Maintenant, à cause de vous, je suis défigurée pour toute la vie.
Well, that's not strictly true, is it? You're disfigured because you're attacking her for no reason. Well, there probably is a reason, because you're a jealous woman, and she doesn't show her fanny. Watch out for that dynamite. An hour later, which just happens to be daylight, they reach the vineyard. But not before having a break, of course, because remember, this is still France.
On va s'arrêter là un petit moment, là.
T'as remarqué? On dirait que c'est les hommes les plus touchés. La folle dans le village, elle avait pas grand-chose par rapport aux autres, hein.
C'est vrai. J'ai rencontré une aveugle. Lucie. Elle n'avait rien. La fille d'un paysan, lui était déjà fou, mais elle n'avait qu'une toute petite plaie.
It's at this point they realise they aren't affected, as they didn't drink the local wine at the festival, they had beer instead. Elizabeth mentions that her fiancé owns the vineyard, so they go off to see him. I wonder if he'll explain himself.
Y a personne. Tiens, là, le téléphone, là, appelle la gendarmerie.
Ah, ça va, y a la tonalité.
Je vais voir s'il y a quelque chose à manger, moi. Et une petite bouteille. Et c'est pas du vin nouveau, ça.
Je comprends pas, ça répond pas.
Et 3 verres, voilà. Voilà.
Whilst they enjoy a very French lunch of wine and, well, obviously a baguette, Elizabeth needs to go and find her boyfriend and maybe tell him about the thing she's just found on her arm.
Elisabeth, n'approche pas. Attends, je suis malade. Tu comprends, je suis défiguré. Je peux devenir fou d'un moment à l'autre. Ils sont tous partis, empoisonnés par le pesticide que j'ai fabriqué. Je suis resté, je dois me détruire pendant que je suis encore lucide.
deviens fou, moi.
Ah, so it's all his fault. Let's hope one of the other blokes with the guns comes along and finishes him off.
Je t'aime.
Thankfully, one of the blokes with the guns arrives just in time, also to warn her that the helicopter rescue is on the way.
Ah, il en reste encore un. Y a plus que toi ici. Où sont les autres?
Ils sont tous partis. En fuite dès le début.
Pourquoi vous n'avez pas appelé la gendarmerie?
Le patron et l'employé des émigrés. Pas les cadres, par moi.
Et alors?
Les émigrés risquent pas d'aller voir les flics.
T'es pas fou, toi? C'est encore normal?
Qu'est-ce que tu vas faire? La pourriture est en train de grimper là, dans ma tête. Dans une minute, je peux te sauter dessus.
It's the immigrants' fault. Ah, it's how every story ends. Oh, unlucky. Unfortunately, the virus then takes hold of Elizabeth's brain, which means she starts doing stupid shit as well.
Mais arrête tes conneries! Il l'a fait exprès. Il le voulait. Il s'est jeté sur moi!
And then the other bloke with the gun comes to find his mate. Unfortunately, he sees Elizabeth first. Getting shot over a wine barrel? How very French. How very dramatic. Anyway, at this point, the only person left is Elizabeth, who comes to terms with the fact that she too is going to be dead in about 10 minutes. The end. Now if you're wondering, Mystery Ming and Kitten are at home. The sun was out, so I thought might as well make the most of it. Anyway, that was a great film and I would highly recommend it. Unlike other zombie films where you only care about the people that are getting killed off and you want them to survive, this one's different because the people who are infected actually know what they're doing and they feel bad about it. So there's something you don't often see in horror films. Emotion, something only the French can really do. Whilst it is particularly gory, it's not over the top. So it's the kind of thing you can put on with your nan if you want and she wants to read some subtitles. Plus the film's only about an hour and a half long, which makes it ideal, unlike the 28 Years Later franchise, which seem to go on forever and are ultimately shit. So if you are looking for something good to watch and it'll keep you hooked throughout, give The Grapes of Death a go. As I said, that's the last Gene Rollin film that I'll be reviewing because the rest are just tits and vampires, or just tits. Ah, the French. Allow me to interrupt myself. The film is also an ecological horror. The film shows that everything is happening because of collapse caused by meddling. Do you mind? The film shows that the system is collapsing because of meddling with the natural order, something we all massively disagree with. Well, most of us are watching this video. You know, like how the water is turning the frogs gay, and how pesticides used on all our fruit and veg nowadays does cause issues with the health. I mean, it's not making people walk around and turn into zombies, however, it's not good for you. Anyway, back to me talking to myself in a hospital garden. It's also very similar, oh it's echoey in here, very similar to The Living Dead Girl, which is also a zombie film, with emotion, with a great ending. Give that one a go as well. I can't be bothered to review it because it's essentially the same film, only set somewhere differently. Well, another part of France. Next week, we're back in Italy, thank God, where the restaurants are always open. Anyway, I need to do some winemaking and Someone's left their tablets in here, not mine. We're at hospital. Until next time, ta-ta for now. And remember, drink in moderation and don't trust a woman who shows you her fanny to get a lift in the car.
If you enjoyed this video, you can always buy St. Harrison a cup of tea. The link is in the description. Thank you in advance if you do.
Very similar to the living